Nobody climbed Mount Everest by just taking a leap. No, they had to take one step after another and climb to the top of the mountain. And that's what I'm going to tell you today, is that if there's something big standing in your way, the best way to do it is to break it down into teeny tiny little pieces. Welcome to Grit, Grace, and Inspiration. I'm your host, Kevin Lowe, and I'm excited to welcome you inside. What's going on? And welcome back to Grit, Grace, and Inspiration, the podcast here to lift you up, inspire you, and motivate you to get out there and chase after those dreams, to make them come true. Because, hey, what other way is there to live this life? What's happening? My name is Kevin Lowe, your host, as well as transformational life and business coach. And today you are joining me for what is episode number 176. Today, we are going to dive into a potentially life-changing topic, the topic of breaking through your fear and encouraging you to take that next step. There's a lot of fear. There's a lot of anxiety. There's a lot of self-doubt involved in taking that next step in life. But that next step is what leads us to our future. That next step is what leads us to a life of possibility, of opportunity. Because if we never have the courage to take that next step, well, then we just stay planted where we are. Nothing good happens. Nothing bad happens. Just nothing happens. And nothing is no place to live. So inside of today's episode, I'm going to equip you with the strategies, with the mindset, with the tools you need to break through the fear, to overcome the anxiety, and take that next step. Now, I will give you a heads up that the good stuff, well, it's of course at the end of today's episode. Because not only do I have some tips and tricks and tactics and mindset shifts to equip you with, but, well, I also have a way for you to take it to a whole nother level. The next level in your life. And, well, that's coming up towards the end of the episode. So stay tuned, buckle your seatbelt, and let's get ready to take off. Step one, you gotta face your fears head on. And the best way to do that is to acknowledge what those fears even are. What fears are holding you back? What fears are stopping you from moving forward? And maybe you don't think of them so much as a fear, but maybe you think of them as a worry. The nightmares that keep you up at night. The thoughts in your head that don't let you sleep. That's what I'm talking about. And the only way for us to overcome them is to get real, to be honest. So maybe get out a pen and paper, grab out a notepad and jot them down. Make those fears understand that you got their number and you're coming for them because you're ready to break through them. And one way that I like to think of this is the analogy of surfing. If you've ever watched a surfer head out into the ocean, well, before they get to the point where they can start catching waves, they've got to break through the crashing waves. They've got to get through their challenges. And the only way to do that is for them to charge into the waves head first. They can't go at an angle. They can't hesitate. Or if they do that, then the wave that's crashing is going to gobble them up. Instead, they charge forward. They dip down into the ocean, diving their board under the power of the wave, and they get past it. And eventually they get past the break and they get out there to where they want to be, where they have the upper hand, where they can look back and see those challenges, those obstacles, and now be posed in a position to take advantage of the power of the waves, the power of the challenges. And that's what I want for you. My second tactic is the power of visualization. This is where we're talking about the mindset involved. I encourage you to dedicate a few minutes, it doesn't have to be anything long, but a few minutes every day to visualize yourself already having accomplished what you want to accomplish. You've already crushed your barriers. You've already broken down the obstacles that stand in your way. You've already taken on those fears. How does it feel? What does it feel like to be there? How do you know that you've made it? Get your mind zeroed in on success. Because when we have that destination already figured out, well, now it just makes it that much easier to get there. My third point is to make it easy on yourself and to break it down into little step-by-step pieces. Sometimes in life, there's challenges, there's obstacles, there's fears that hold us back that are relatively, let's say, easy to overcome. But others are bigger. They're monumental. It's the Mount Everest of challenges, of our fears. Well, nobody climbed Mount Everest by just taking a leap. No, they had to take one step after another and climb to the top of the mountain. And that's what I'm going to tell you today, is that if there's something big standing in your way, the best way to do it is to break it down into teeny tiny little pieces. And you may think that you're not making any progress because all you've done is just taken one little tiny step forward. And what does that matter when you've got this mountain to overcome? Well, that's how we do it. But here's the secret that people miss, is that those steps, they have a compound effect. Because it's not just 1 + 1, but instead they multiply in magnitude. And the further you get, the more powerful you become, the less of a challenge that challenge seems, and the more closer you are to achieving it, to cresting the top of Everest. What is Mount Everest in your life? What is that mountain? And how are you going to break it down into manageable pieces that you can overcome it? Think about it. My last tip, my last little mindset shift is to be easy on yourself, to give yourself some compassion. Recognize the fact that it's okay to feel worried. It's okay to be fearful, but you don't have to be alone. And you don't have to beat yourself up about it. Recognize it. Recognize that it's tough. It's hard, but don't stay there. Get yourself to get out of that place and moving forward. Find a support system. Find something that motivates you. Maybe it's an inspiring podcast you listen to. Maybe it's a friend who pumps you up like no one else. But even if you feel like you don't have anyone, well, I can tell you this. It takes some work. It takes some total mindset work, but you can be your own cheerleader also. Sometimes we have to step outside of ourselves and cheer ourselves on. Kevin, you got this, bro. You are capable. You are able, Kevin. You can do it. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. Sometimes you just got to be your own cheerleader. But sometimes it does help to have some support. Because when we have people to do life with, it makes it easier. We're not meant to do it all alone. And I want you to know this, that by accepting help, you're not a failure. That doesn't mean that you are less of a person because you couldn't do it yourself. No. You know what it does mean, though? It means that you're human. You're just like everybody. And we need people to help us in this life, to get us to where we want to go. And there's nothing wrong with having somebody lead the way, to be your guide. And that's exactly why I created Next Level You. 90 days to your next best chapter of life. Next level you is the thing that I mentioned at the beginning of today's episode that I wanted to tell you about. And that is my signature coaching program. It's a 90-day one-on-one coaching intensive where we're going to focus on the mind, body, spirit by helping you to turn your challenges into opportunities, to have you focusing forward, to have you getting to where you want to be. I've designed it to be a transformative experience that's going to have you breaking down barriers, discovering things about yourself that you never even knew were possible, and ultimately unlocking your unlimited potential. What I like to think sets my style of coaching apart from others is my proprietary process called high vibration transformations. If you want to get fancy, you can basically say that it helps to deliver transformations in the highest energy possible. But here's the real truth. It's just me, the guy talking to you right now, who's learned that this life is worth living. That even through the hard times, the sleepless nights, the dark days, that there is brighter light to be found. And I want to encourage you and remind you that you can have that too. Because I was there. I was where you are. I felt hopeless. I felt like the days would never end. I felt like, why me? Why this? Why now? And at times, I just wish so badly. There's got to be another way. There's got to be someone, something that can help me to make me better, to let me be better, to make my life better. Well, I'll tell you this much. What I'm doing today as a transformational life and business coach is exactly what I wished I had found back in those days. And I guess you could say that even though it's what I do as a quote unquote job, it's what I'm passionate about. It's what I love. It's what I just totally get jazzed up about every morning when I wake up, is that I get to help somebody else overcome their hurdles, get past their challenges, and start living the life that they were meant to live. This specific coaching program that I've created is here to elevate you, expand your reach, and make you realize that what you thought was impossible may very well be possible. You just needed somebody to help you get there. So if you're looking for some support, some guidance and direction to help you achieve the goals you want to achieve, that's exactly what I want to do. That's exactly what Next Level You, 90 days to your next best chapter of life, is all about. So if you're ready to take that next step, if you're ready to move into your next chapter of life, and you're thinking, wow, maybe this is for me, well, I want to invite you to explore that a little bit more. This isn't you committing to the program. This is you just committing to yourself that, you know what, I'm worth it. I deserve to at least learn more to see if this is right for me. And the way you do that is simple. All you have to do is use the phone that you're listening to this podcast on, or if you're listening to it on a computer or your tablet, grab your phone, and I want you to text the word NEXT to 833-205-8589. That is 833-205-8589, and text the word NEXT. When you text the word NEXT, I will respond with my calendar where you can book a time for us to chat. I've opened up time on my calendar specifically for you, my friend. I want to talk with you, and let's figure out, is this coaching program right for you? I want to leave you with this. I want to remind you that it's the decisions you make today, the decisions you make right now, that impact your life of tomorrow. So If Next Level You, my one-on-one coaching program, if that could be a benefit, if that could be a help, well, friend, I hope you will say yes. Yes to yourself. Yes to your future. Yes to possibilities. So remember, just text the word NEXT to 833-205-8589. That's all you have to do. And until next time, my friend, well, just remember this. You are worth it. You are capable of achieving it. And you are darn sure deserving of it. So don't let you shortcut your future. Don't let your self-doubt get in the way. Make you be the one who matters. Make your future matter. And, well, I really hope that maybe I could help get you to where you want to be. With that said, my name is Kevin Lowe, host of Grit, Grace, and Inspiration, as well as transformational life and business coach. If you need a reminder of the number you're supposed to be texting the word NEXT to, it is 833-205-8589. I will also leave that phone number inside of today's show notes if that can be a help. With that said, get out there and take on the day. Hey, real quick before you go, I have one last thought to leave you with. I, of course, hope that you've enjoyed today's episode, but more importantly, I want to remind you that I never want you to listen to an episode of this podcast to hear something that I have to say or that my guest has to share and think, wow, I wish I could be like them. I wish I could overcome my own challenges and do the great things that they are doing, but I just can't. Well, friend, that's where you are wrong. You are capable. You are able. And you darn sure are deserving of having all that you can imagine in this life. There's nothing special about me or any guest I have on this podcast. We are all just normal people trying to make it in this life. And so I encourage you to take a look at yourself in the mirror and remind yourself that, you know what? I can do it too. Now, of course, if you would like help along that way, reach out to me, whether that's as a listener of this podcast, a friend, or if you'd like to work with me as a coach. My contact information is inside of every episode's show notes, just like this one. So go down, check out my contact information, and reach out to me today. With that said, I encourage you to take on the day every day with grit, grace, and inspiration.